Okay, so this is about my eighth take because this stuff isn't easy, is it? You know that as well as I do. You know, a lot of us have some good distance, both in miles or kilometers or in time, away from our narcissistic abuser. But a lot of us don't. And I'm going to pledge to remember that. So let me make a video trying to give some encouragement, if I can, just based on my own history. And I'd like to ask you in the comment section to share your healing process as well. Now, what I'm going to talk about is not looking at all for any sympathy. I want to try to make an example that can explain that if I can get through this, I can get through anything. Okay. While I'll talk about this in much greater detail in the near future, I came from a life where my earliest childhood memories were being sexually abused from a close family member. And the narcissist knew. I knew they knew because once I shared this information very early in my life, I got knocked off the kitchen table by a slap across the face. Somebody who was supposed to protect me. That grew into this close family member sharing me or trafficking me with his friends. I never realized how much damage was really done because I kept that inside afterwards. After all, the people that were supposed to protect me rejected it. And again, this goes much deeper, and I will get into this one day soon. I raised my brother, 10 years my junior, from birth to when he was 5 years old. And I did a video on that entitled Parentification. Finally, at 15, I had to get out of that house. Worked at age 16. Went to the Navy at age 17. And then I had no contact for many years. And I made the almost fatal, I want to talk about that, almost fatal decision of reconnecting with the narcissist. It was almost fatal when I realized just several years ago how I could fall for such a trap again. This again, I'll talk to in a much deeper sense soon, not just yet. But I do know from the notes I get that a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Several years ago, when I realized, when I put my finger on what this was, and I did that in many different ways. The internet, of course, was one of them. Studying, I mean really studying some of the great old timers and putting pieces together and then coming to the community, this community, and saying, hey, what about this? And this is what's happening to me. And then getting that validation, as I hope you get validation from here or commentators or other channels. But in those several years, with a lot of hard work, with a lot of understanding, with a lot of reaching out, I began to heal. Most times I didn't even realize I was healing. But if I look at today, as opposed to when I was 15 years old and had to get out of that house, to when I decided to do no contact again after reestablishing contact with the narcissist. If I look at today, I could see great progress. And the reason why I mention this is because a lot of us, a lot of you, may not recognize the progress that you've made, because it may only be a short time of no contact. It may only be a short time that you realized and put your finger on that you were being abused by a psychopath, a narcissist. Let me try to say this as clearly as I can, and I need you please to believe me, or at least believe that I believe it, and believe that others believe it. I've always said you will get better and you're not alone, and I've stressed that for a fact. I look at myself today, and those tapes that we talked about have diminished greatly. Those constant thoughts in my head have diminished greatly. Those continuous doubts of my own self, what did I do, has diminished greatly. The priority of putting a narcissist in my head on the top of the list has diminished greatly. And some of you might not see those little tiny incremental steps. Remember, I always say, second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, and month by month, year by year, you're going to get better. I know it doesn't seem like that. I know that while you're in it, while you're feeling that intense emotional pain and doubt and self-doubt, it's hard to recognize that. But you will come out of the other side of that. The pain that you're going through will lessen and lessen second by second. It's amazing. Because when I was going through the throes of that pain, whether it be when I was 15 or whether it was 3 years ago, it's difficult to see that. It's difficult to see any path forward. I lived in my friend's basement for a full year and a half at 15 years old. Besides being sexually abused, the physical abuse has taken a dramatic toll. I've had 5 spine surgeries, 4 of which have been fusions. This is from the physical abuse, where I would bend over and cover myself up. Each one of us have gone through different types and different experiences of pain and abuse. But that doesn't make one better than the other or greater than the other, or that doesn't make one less than the other. Maybe the same, maybe a little different, maybe a lot different. But I'm here to tell you that 3 years ago, I was in a very, very bad spot. I was mentally unwell. And the thoughts that were going through my head to stop that pain, I'm not even ready to speak about yet. Today, most all of my thoughts are healthy. A lot of that has to do with you, the community. If there was no internet, if there was no form of communication and sharing between us, I don't know where I'd be today. But I'd like you to please trust in this. That no matter when you dip into those very deep and very dark psyche moments and you're feeling such great despair, I'm going to ask you to please believe me and please believe others that time, work, and education or knowledge is going to pull you out of that, and you will become healthy. You will grow to be a productive, empathetic, lovely, caring, loving human being. You are not destined to be a victim. You are destined to be a survivor. Just my babbling. But it's always important for us that get some time and some health behind us to look back and share with others who are in complete despair and need to know that they're going to be okay. Thank you. I'm wishing you peace today.